Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Behind the Beat. My name is Chris Langen. And today, I've got 10 ways for you to practice the drums to a metronome. Let's get right into it. Number 1 is our most traditional way. Most people that own a metronome or have an app, this is usually the preset. It's quarter notes clicking off 4 beats, and we just practice our beats along to that. So that's number 1. Here it is at 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it set to quarter notes. We're going to keep it at 60 as well. And we're going to interpret that click as the and, all right? So what we want to do is push play on the metronome. It might take a couple passes before you kind of feel it. So turn your metronome on, and every time you hear the click, start with your and, okay? And 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay. All right, guys. Next one, number 3. We're going to leave it as is, and we're going to interpret the click as the E's. Okay, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. This one is a little bit tougher yet. So, like I said, let it run through for a couple times until you kind of start feeling where the E is. All right? Here we go. E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a 1, E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a 1, E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a. All right, very good. Number 4, we're going to play 8th note triplets against our quarter note click track, okay? So we're still going to hear 1, 2, 3, 4, but we're going to play an 8th note triplet groove. Now, where you place your bass drum, whatever type of 8th note triplet groove you want, fine, okay? But we're just going to play it against a straight click. Here we go. So we want to hear 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. All right. Moving on. The next one, we are going to flip that. What we're going to do now is have our metronome click eighth note triplets, and we're going to play a straight eighth note rock beat, or whatever beat it is you want to play. As long as it's quarter note, eighth note, or 16th note bass, and it's straight, okay? This one's a bit challenging, so I'm going to show you. I kind of like to count it and feel it out first, okay, before I jump right into it. Here's how we do it. Okay, you see we got our metronome clicking. 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And we want to be playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right. That's a tough one. Let's see, what do we have next here? All right. We're going to stick with the eighth note triplets here, and we're going to play another eighth note triplet groove, this time against 16th notes on the metronome. All right, so we've got our metronome clicking. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. However, we want to play 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. It's a tough one. It almost doesn't sound like it makes sense. So what I like to do, just to make sure, is look at the metronome and follow the bouncy ball, you know. Or you could set your metronome up to where you have accents clicking on, you know, on the 1 and the 2 and everything, so you kind of have a reference point. All right. So the next one, let's see, we're going to basically just flip-flop that. We're going to play 16th note pattern, rock beat, have you, against the 8th note triplet metronome. Again, this is going to be a tough one, so we're going to count it out first and kind of feel it out and see where we're at. So our metronome is giving us 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay, and we want 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. All right. Fun times. Moving on. All right, number 7. Yeah, 7. This one is kind of this one has a few subgroups in it. Okay, we're gonna set our metronome to the dotted eighth note preset. So it's gonna be clicking 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Let me get that set up here. Okay, so 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. So, number 7A, or 8A, whatever one we're on here. Yeah, I think it's number 8. We'll play it just as is. So, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. All right. Now, what we can do is shift that. We're going to permutate the click. Okay, so now we're going to interpret that as 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. Okay, instead of 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Again, what we'll want to do is count it first and until we find it and can kind of feel it. So let's try that. 2E, 3E, 4E, 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 1E, and a 2E, and a 3E, and a 4E, 1E, 2E, and a 3E, and a 4E, and a 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to permutate again. We're going to interpret the click as E and. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. One E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and E and E and E and. Okay. Finally, for this one, letter C, we're going to interpret it as and a. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okie dokie, guys. We've got 2 left. All right. The next way we can practice with the metronome, number 9, is using what we call a gap click. All right. Now, I have a couple different metronome apps on my phone and on my iPad. Not everyone has this function, so you want to find a metronome an app that allows you to pretty much mute a measure, okay? Because what we're going to be doing here is we're going to get 1 bar of click, 1 bar of silence, 1 bar of click, 1 bar of silence. And the whole idea is to continue playing and see if you line up on the 1, okay? Here's what I mean. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, guys. That's a lot of fun. That is really, really good to practice with. I can't stress enough how important it is to try practicing with a gap click. All right, last one, guys. There's nothing really special about this one. Basically, try practicing in other time signatures. Now, you may, if you're a beginner, even, like a early stages intermediate, you might not really be familiar with playing in odd time signatures. Okay, so you might not want to try something in 7 or anything. You might want to stick with some of the easier ones. Okay, for example, 3/4 is a pretty easy odd time signature to play in. All right, so let me get the metronome set up here, and I'll show you what this one's like. Okay, so 3/4 is going to give us 3 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is a very good one to really introduce yourself to odd time signatures. And it's just going to click quarter notes. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, you could run through all the things that I've already explained and try some of them in odd time signatures. Some of them might not work, but some of them will. So let me know if you end up trying any of those and how they work out for you. Let's do 3/4 real quick. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, guys. Well, I hope this has helped because I know a lot of, especially beginner students, get intimidated by the metronome and they want to run for the hills. So remember, this thing is our friend. We're drummers. Our job is to keep steady time. So the more time we spend practicing with one of these, the better time we have internally. Okay, and it'll make us a better, solid pocket drummer. So when we're going out and trying to find jobs, people will hire us because they know we keep a good, steady beat. All right? Please subscribe. Check out the rest of the channel for more drum lessons, covers, reviews, things like that. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also at www.chrislangendrummer.com. All right, guys, have a good one. Until next time, we'll see you guys at the next lesson.